Welcome everyone to the Blue Room Podcast, and today I have Ricardo Mendoza, aka Rico Calle, and I've pronounced that name wrong the entire time that I've known Rico or Ricardo. Um, so, yeah, uh, Ricardo is known for Hypnotica and uh, his role in One False Move and his solo project Rico Calle, which I've had the privilege of doing lyric videos for two of those projects and album art for one of those projects. And it was a really great hang. And before we get started on the actual conversation and everything, I want to let everybody know that this podcast is sponsored by Blue Room Media, myself, because it's free, I guess. But if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, there will be a link in the show notes to send an email, or if you're listening, you don't want to go through all that, just send an email to blueroommediacompany@gmail.com if you're interested in sponsoring us, and we'll send you an email back with some details on that. So let's get started and do a quick vibe check here. How you feeling, Rico?
I'm feeling great, excited, chilling. Make sure you guys go to Blue Room Media to get your art and stuff for your bands specifically because he makes great stuff. But yeah, there you go. That's how I'm feeling today.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate the shout out there. So as far as getting to know you, because that's probably what people are listening to this podcast or watching this on YouTube for, um, we'll go ahead and start with a an easy thing. What got you into doing music, and what has kept you going doing music?
Which is well, I grew up with my grandparents until I was 10, and music kind of has always been a part of like my family, I guess. You know, everybody listens to music, but my grandparents used to listen to uh like the Beatles, and I also lived, with my uncles as well, and they listened to Korn and Nirvana and things like that. So they made me very educated in music. And once I got to the states here, um, I became friends with a couple kids. Shout out to Corey Bean, rest in peace. And then Sloan Ziller and just name dropping at the moment, but basically I had a little clique that needed a drummer, and nobody knew how to play drums, but everybody knew how to play guitar and bass and things like that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll play drums. Anyways, long story short, music has kind of always been a part of me, and I've just enjoyed playing music. So because they needed a drummer, I became their drummer, and that was like when I was like 13, 14.
So it's been a long way, just to follow up on that, whenever you were drumming for that band, did you know that you were a guitarist and not a drummer? Because people would know, like you have to know if you're playing an instrument and then you're like, I feel like I'm not the greatest at this, but I'm way better at something else. You gotta know.
Well, I mean, I played drums for a couple bands, so I had to be kind of good. They wanted me as a drummer, and I didn't really pick up the guitar until like really really start digging into guitar, and like until I was early 20s. I'm now 31. I look like, I know I have this baby face going, but I'm now 31 years old. Um, it's been a decade since I played really stuck to guitar. Um, it turns out is if you don't have an electric drum set, kind of hard to practice from your apartment. So yeah. So it's been about a decade since I really, really, really started playing guitar, but drums is still like my first love. I'll definitely fill in. I'm not the greatest drummer per se. I'm like a simple blues type of drummer. But yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, as far as drumming goes, I'm also a drummer. I was in high school marching band, and I played snare on my senior year, and then the rest of the time before that, I was on bass drum. Um,
Nice.
it was very fun. We had a bunch of cadences that we had to come up with ourselves, and there's a couple of them that I still remember to this day. If I had a bass drum, I could probably still play it. But I sold my drum set, so uh,
So,
you know.
Hypnotica is looking for a drummer. And if you feel like joining the band, I don't know, drop me a
Well,
DM.
if I had a drum set, I would. But yeah, yeah. Anybody who's watching or listening, if you want to join a band, you're okay with remote, right? Like as long
Yeah.
as you're able to record yourself or program drums, then I'm pretty sure that it would be a good fit.
All those statements are pretty true. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the digital age. It's 2024. You can't not have the capability to do that stuff. It's kind of too cheap to not have the ability to do that now. You could even record on your
Yeah.
iPhone. There's an app called BandLab that you can literally use your iPhone to record the stuff. You can record stems on your iPhone, just take it into your DAW of choice, and modify it to however you want it. So it's kind of one of those things you just if you really want it, you want it. But this whole purpose of me saying that was if you're a drummer and you want to be in a really cool band,
Hit me up.
hit him up.
We're not desperate. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
No,
no.
we're. I mean, we are working on our first EP. We do have our first single out that you helped us make our EP cover for that single, and
Yes.
then basically we're gonna use that art to once we put out all the songs out for that EP as well. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. And for our viewers on YouTube, I'm gonna pull that up here. This right here is the artwork. This particular artwork is not made conventionally. So what actually happened was I was pushing a big Unreal Engine thing, and I brought a metahuman in, and we went over how to make the metahuman and everything, and it ended up being not as good as we all thought it would be. So what I did was took a high resolution screenshot of what I had in Unreal Engine, and I ran it through AI. I know AI is a sore subject for people, and I like to think of it more of as a tool. If you're confused about something, or if you need a different look that's similar to what you already have, Photoshop has generative fill, which is crazy, and I don't have Photoshop, but I can get Photoshop. Um, and I just ran it through AI a couple times with a prompt that said keep the same sort of composition. It came up with the the regular image, and I just added a couple things here and there, like the lightning and the logo and everything, to make everything how you guys wanted it to look. And I think it turned out pretty good. You guys think it turned out pretty good. The internet thinks it turned out pretty
Yeah, I
good.
love it.
So some people may frown on that AI was used for that, but I don't care.
I mean, it's a tool. We gotta use it, and it's very budget friendly to use AI, to be honest. But I
Yeah, true.
also, I was a little bit torn about it because I'd rather use a human like, art,
Yeah,
trying to keep that aspect of it. But sometimes you gotta try something new, and when you're kind of pressed for time, and then you want to put something out there that's just been sitting there for a while, you kind of just uh, you gotta do what you gotta do. So you know, you can't really be picky in my eyes, I guess.
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's tons of things that we could talk about other than AI, and I'm sure that people are sick of hearing about by now. So we'll go to a different topic here. Let's start chronologically. Um, for I know we're kind of talking a lot about me, but it is also about you and what you've done. But the two videos that I did for you, the first one was the One False Move video. So that video I'll link in the description on YouTube as well as the show notes in the podcast. Um, that video was pretty great in my opinion, just because it was something that I hadn't really done before. I pretty much modeled a lot of the stuff by hand and grabbed some assets from Sketchfab, but it turned out, fairly good. Not as realistic as I hoped it would be, but it's kind of like N64 graphics. It kind of gave you a little bit of character though. So let's talk a little bit about that and what your thought process was whenever we were making that video.
Well, if you guys are, you know, like Brendan said, he's gonna link uh, the band and the music video. And what we were just thinking, this the for the One False Move video, if I can even speak on it, because Michael Gordon, he's the one who gathered people to form this band, which I'm currently working on, with to finish that album with him. But the basic concept of the album revolves around hell is a home, or that specific concept is that home can be hell and things like that. Um, and so what Nightmare was is kind of like the centerpiece of that whole concept of the album. And so that's what we kind of went for, which you depicted throughout the music video, the music lyric video, pretty pretty well, I thought. It depicted for each room there were just different things that it kind of touched on metaphorically, which I thought the music video did a great job at that. Um, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's kind of to me it's cutting edge by the way that things are done. It's um, trying to provide just a little bit more depth to the lyric videos. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say about it.
Yeah, it turned out.
Plus, the song is pretty great. So
Yeah, this the song is really good. They sent it to me. I think Michael actually sent it to me first, and I was like, man, this slaps so hard. Back when people said slaps, they don't say that anymore. I don't know what they say now. What do the kids say these days? You know,
it cooks.
it cooks. Oh, let him cook. Let him cook.
It grills. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. That it's so cringy. Oh man. Yeah, if you're a Gen Z watching this, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. I'm not sorry. Um,
Sorry. Yeah.
so then I guess you guys liked it so much you decided to come back for some more work. The next thing that I did for you specifically was the distant past video, and I know this one you could probably talk a lot about because it's literally about you and your nostalgia and stuff like that. And um, as soon as he sent me the like what the song was and the song name and everything, I was like, there's got to be a clock in that. I'm gonna link this one in the description too if you guys are just coming into the podcast or to stream or something like that. Uh,
Yeah, that father clock was a
yeah.
beautiful ad, and the way that it just starts with it at the beginning and like pans to it.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. It was.
it
It was.
complements the guitars in the back pretty
eh,
well.
And I still haven't received a cease and desist from Nintendo, so I think we're good on
That's
that.
good.
Uh, I think it falls under parody law, fair use, I guess. Hopefully. But
I
if
mean,
you're a Nintendo rep watching
you're not
this,
claiming that's your stuff.
yeah, exactly. If you're a
Or
Nintendo,
or WotC. You know, WotC hasn't come like knocked down your door yet. I don't know what they did to that one dude that leaked. They sent like notorious. Did you see that? They sent like notor. This is like a maybe a year and a half ago. But this guy leaked some stuff, and they sent like these notoriously known like illegal like hitman type of dudes to his
oh,
home. To,
oh
like
man,
yeah,
that's crazy.
funny.
Um, but yeah, if you're a Nintendo rep watching this, don't just don't. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff in there that was really cool. Like I said, it was based on nostalgia, and um, we had all kinds of stuff. So at one point, I was asking him, I was like, it's kind of like an office space type thing. I have the desk and I have the grandfather clock and the bookshelf, but we need to make it better. We need to add stuff to it. So I just asked him what his favorite childhood things were, and pretty much just video games and all that came to mind. We put a Game Boy Color in there. Um,
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite part of the video is the Game Boy Color, just because it looked like a legit Game Boy Color, and
it did.
it, that was the most realistic part. I was trying to go for kind of a semi-realism thing, and I think I nailed it. I guess.
I like the static in the background of that Game Boy.
Yeah.
That was pretty realistic as well. I mean, I like all the statues. Not gonna lie, I like the Nicol Bolas and
Yeah.
like Scizor and all those Pokemon figurines in that video. Like, you think it's gonna be like kind of a nerdy type of song, but it's it's kind of a sad song. Just looking back at it and just listening to the lyrics, but um, I know Michael said that he was kind of jealous of how the video turned out as a and it, um so that's one thing I can kind of hold over his head, I guess.
There's always, the only way to go is up. So the next one false move thing that you guys do or something like that, I'd be happy to come back and do something even better than what I've already done for you, because
Yeah,
I've learned from all my mistakes on those videos, uh, to be a better designer and artist for that type of content. Uh, and it's one of those things that's just like you see what you make and you're like, man, I really love that I made this, or in your case, you hear what you make, uh, and then you watch it a little bit later after you've grown as an artist, and you listen to it later and you're like, man, I could have done all this better. I could have done this better and this better and this better. But if you
story of my life.
if you dwell on it, then
Yeah,
it's just gonna keep you stagnant. But if you learn from it, then the only way to go is up, like I said. So, um,
sure. The whole YouTube channel that you can see the quality of the videos that it just makes me cringe. It's like looking at your old Facebook posts to me.
oh yeah,
It's like what? Why the fuck did I post this?
we'll call this PG-13. So you're allowed one f bomb. That was it.
My my one.
Let's talk more about the Distant Past song. Whenever you were writing that, I know you told me that was kind of a nostalgic song and everything, but what exactly were you feeling in that particular song whenever you were writing it?
So it was a way of going back and just analyzing how I thought I was, my own psychology of how I felt when I was a kid, um, and the things that happened to me and the way that it made me feel. It's basically that's what it is, you know. Um, and that is like the best way that I can explain it. It was not. It's nothing recent, but distant past does that song does go back almost a decade or 2 decades, you know, of uh, of experience. And that's why it's called distant past. That's clever, right? But yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely it was a good song for sure. I still listen to it, as you do. When you're in my line of work, you end up listening to the song way more than probably anybody else listens to the song, and it just gets stuck in your head over and over and over and over and over. Um, and that's really one of the things that I do to prepare me for whenever I'm going to create something like that. I'll draw inspiration directly from the source material. So like I said, the grandfather clock. The song's name was Distant Past, so I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And then I was like, it seems a little too stagnant. Let's make the grandfather clock actually tell time. Uh, but it was going fast because it's supposed to show the passage of time, hence distant
Yeah,
past. You get it, you understand,
yeah,
but
I think so.
but some other people may not have understood some of the decisions behind that. Like you were talking about the static on the Game Boy, that was like, what would it actually look like if this was a Game Boy game that was being played right now, but it's the lyrics to the song, and it's kind of profound that I think about it like that, but uh, it ended up being a really cool shot. So, uh, now that I think about it, I actually did the artwork for Hell is Home too. The album artwork for One False Move, where the house is on
You
fire.
did nice.
I think I did that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you and Michael handle all of that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just here.
yeah.
I'm just the voice, and then.
I mean, so
But I remember when he showed it to me. I'm like, yeah, this. There was a couple iterations of it. Um, and then like the most recent one is he showed me two, and I gave him my 2 cents.
oh
But
yeah,
currently that artwork is stellar as well.
yeah, dude. So we've done all the distant past stuff, pun intended. Uh, but let's talk about the future. Where are we going from here? What's on the agenda?
So I currently still do like the my own stuff under the Rico Calle name. Um, I release most of the time I release covers of me playing acoustically, or sometimes I get motivated enough to uh, program it all, like program guitars. And when I say program, is that I'm actually playing, I'm not programming it, but recording record guitar and doing all that. That's always been a constant, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a constant for the future. What's coming up? Me and Michael are still working to record uh, more songs for One False Move. I gotta record more courses. Um, the instrumentals for all the songs, I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to being done, if not done already. So all that needs to be done is record the instrumentals. So that's exciting because I know that we've been trying to put that album out for about a year and a half now. So I know we're almost at the finish line there. And eventually we want to play shows. Um, and then Hypnotica, that's a personal project as well. It's a more closer to home type of project because One False Move, um, we kind of live about 2.5 hours away from each other. That's kind of a more of an online type of thing. But the project, the most recent project that I'm in, which is Hypnotica, um, that we've put out a single. We're working on um, just putting out more music, finishing the EP, which we're pretty much almost all the way done. We've had a little bit of some lineup changes, so we've had to catch up. One of our guitarists to the songs, and we want to put this EP out, but we also want to play shows. I love playing live. That's one of the things that I love doing. I go to open mics as much as possible. If there are any available around my area. Um, but I really miss playing as a band. That's an amazing feeling. But yeah, Hypnotica, you can look that up on Spotify or anything. You can look up any streaming platforms. You can also look it up on YouTube Music. You can look up the song "Myth." That's our single that's out that we recently put up in on April 8th. But besides that, that's that's the future right there for my hobbies. Hopefully, they become more than my hobbies.
That's the
I want to end up
dream.
eventually making money out of this stuff, and I also stream. I stream video games. I play Overwatch, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, mostly Overwatch. That's what I stream. You can watch me rage and yell at people
Did they
if you're into that type of stuff.
did they shut down the server for Overwatch 1?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sucks. I own that game, and now I don't ever get to play it anymore because they destroyed my hopes and dreams. Thanks,
Well, yeah.
Blizzard.
Overwatch 2 is free.
Oh, it
Um,
is?
it did because I had the disc. Yeah,
Wait, you're saying Overwatch 2 is free?
Overwatch 2 is free.
So as far as that goes, I might download it someday and just hit me up if you ever want to play. I guess because that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I like playing Overwatch 1, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same on Overwatch 2. Is there more of a story mode on this one or no? I haven't played it.
Yeah. Man, you really haven't missed all that drama. They kind of edged their fan base.
Oh, they
They were
edged
like
they edged
Overwatch
their fan
2.
base. What? They did what? Uh
They they were like, hey, we're making Overwatch 2. We're gonna force an update. Overwatch 1's never gonna exist, but there's gonna be a story mode in Overwatch 2.
oh, okay.
And like 3 seasons went by, and they were like, oh, guess what? We're scrapping the whole story mode part out of it, and we're just gonna continue with the PvP and putting out maps and characters. So and like that infuriated a large base of their fan base.
What a roller coaster that I just went on.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. Well, this podcast is normally about filmmaking and music and stuff like that, but I'm perfectly fine with talking about games and all that too. Hell, I'm making a that was the most country thing I've ever done. Actually, sorry about that. Uh, so I'm actually making a you know about this, but I'm making a little short animated film of Zelda characters if they had Jujutsu Kaisen powers. Um,
That's gonna be dope. I'm super excited. I've seen the TikToks
yeah,
of Zelda
yeah.
and
So
Link.
that's
No,
the
I think it was Link.
it was both of them. I started teaching myself how to hand animate stuff, and holy crap, that Zelda walk cycle took 5 hours to get to even not as desirable results that I wanted. Like it will probably take at least another 5 hours of polish to make it look perfect. But it's just a short animation. I'm doing it to train myself. It's not really a big deal to me if that's not perfect. Because the main thing is my short series Haven Crest that I'm doing for that. Actually, Michael said he would do the OST for it. Um,
Really?
so I'm pretty excited for that. Have him score that. Uh, and once I get everything done with that, it'll end up being pretty cool too. I don't think I need any other characters, but I might need another character if you're down. If you go to the Blue Room Media TikTok, it's the pinned one at the very top. That's my test for the Unreal Engine MetaHuman facial capture stuff. So that's what all the face animation is going to look like. And we're hoping to have like GoFundMe or Kickstarter or something so we can raise enough money to get a motion capture suit and smart gloves. But it's like $4,000 for the smart suit. But I also want to pay all the people that are involved. So I think I need to raise like $10,000 for it, which is kind of a lot. But
Yeah.
but paying everybody that's involved, you got $150 for each actor. You got like I forgot how much it was that I said I was gonna give Michael, but I don't even know if he knows that he would be getting paid for that. Uh,
Yeah, I don't. I think I'd just do it almost for free.
yeah,
You
almost
have
for
to
free.
write some like beer or something.
Oh yeah. Well,
No, but it just sounds fun. I love just. I would love to just be part of that. To be honest.
yeah. Well, I mean, maybe you could help with the OST. That would be cool. Yeah, because I know you
You need a goblin. I can.
a goblin. Hell
If
yeah.
you ever need,
uh,
I can be a goblin for sure.
I mean, you've also got all the stuff to record voiceovers and stuff too, so you could just do some voice acting. And if whatever you do, I would have to somehow replicate. But I think that could work. Yeah, we could do that. Um, yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited for that. So, and also just excited for this podcast, and hopefully it continues to go the way that it's going. I've got a whole bunch of people lined up. I've already recorded one. This is the second one that I've recorded, but uh, you know, uh, probably not gonna put that in the podcast. But it's pretty good for me. Uh,
Yeah.
let's kind of land the plane on everything and talk about where everybody can find you on the internet.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll put it in chat or whatever. But my personal stuff, like the project, the solo project stuff, it's just under Rico Calle. You can find that on YouTube. Um, you can find my music. I have a one EP that I released a long time ago, which is just available in iTunes. But the second EP is available in like all streaming platforms. If you just look up Rico Calle on TikTok as well, or on TikTok, I'm actually Rico Ramen. Now that I'm looking back, because Ramen is the my gamer tag, so I kind of fuse the two together for my TikTok. Um, let's see, Twitter, it's the same thing, Rico underscore Kaye. Um, the Facebook, you can find me, Rico Kaye. Um, Now, as far as the band stuff, I believe we have a YouTube and a Facebook for One False Move. So look up One False Move for Facebook and YouTube. And then Hypnotica, we only have a Facebook. I started a Twitter, but we don't really post there, so I wouldn't I wouldn't look us up on there for any updates on what we're doing. So if you go to Facebook and just look up Hypnotica, you can keep up with anything that we're up to. And again, the song that it is out for Hypnotica, which is called Myth. You can find that on pretty much all the streaming platforms.
If you're watching on YouTube and you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with all your friends. If you're listening on the podcast, leave a review, leave a comment, or whatever. Just helps get everything going how we want it to go. And just like that, we've concluded the first episode of the Blue Room podcast. And thank you for watching/listening.